Today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to do kind of a dare to compare. We're going to compare three guitars. We recently got in three HSS guitars, but before we get into that, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. Your interaction with us helps us interact with great people in the industry. In this case, we went to zZounds that made this whole thing possible because we just said we want this HSS, this HSS, and this HSS, and they said okay.
So I think there's an individual video on all three of these guitars.
Yes.
So to start, as we introduce them, I'll try and put a card up where you can go see that. If you want to see a whole video where we go through sounds and a bunch of pedals, stuff like that, you can check that out. The other thing I'm going to say to start, this is our video where you go, are they honest YouTubers or are they paid shills, right? So like we're really going to try and give an honest opinion here. But before we do any of that, I think I feel like, and we just said it before we started, I don't think you go wrong with any of them. Mm-hmm. All right. Yep. That said, let's find out how we feel. Anyway, let's introduce them. So first one is the Sire S7 FM coming in at 705.
Yes.
705. So we have affiliate links down there. If you use those, I think we get a little bit from it, but more importantly, the zZounds who's been helping us out and sending us all this stuff to share with you, you're buying from somebody to support the community. We like that. So 705 Sire. If you want to find out more, go check out that video. Although I do need to put a little disclaimer here.
Yes.
On the tone pot, if you push down, it pops up and splits the humbucker and the bridge. Totally missed it in the video. I'm not sure. I know we looked at literature and stuff.
Right.
Not sure how we missed it, but when I played it live on Sunday, I bumped it and went, oh, what's that? All right, next.
The Yamaha Pacifica. It's obviously an HSS. This one comes in at $779.99. And there's also an affiliate link to that.
And then the final, last but not least, is Fender Player II Series Stratocaster HHS. Glad they still had the sticker on it.
$829.
$829. 705, 779, $829.
Mm-hmm.
As you can imagine, when these came in and we pulled them out, there was one that was a clear winner right out of the box to us, who like kind of more traditional styled looking guitars.
And it's a great color. That's a great color.
Yeah.
Period.
We'll see how we feel by the end of the video. Sounds. You said let's start with
let's get funky.
Yeah. So I don't know. At the time of recording this, the thought is we're going to I went through all the pickups on all three guitars, that we're going to take it and do all the bridges, all position 2s, all position 3s, back to back so you can hear it walk through. Unless something happens, we're in the editing process that doesn't work really well. But that's the plan. And here's the pickups.
All right, so we're going to give you some more references for the pickups. This way, it's just some more arpeggio picking so you can hear how the strings react to each other and not quite funky smacking it so hard, if you will. This is what we did. Now, just another disclaimer. It's full of disclaimers. There's extra positions on 2 of the guitars and not 1 of the guitars. So some will have 5, some will have 6.
In fact, it's a Strat. There's no way to split that, so you can't get a single bridge. It's always a humbucker. So as Pat said earlier, this is the first time we're actually comparing 3 guitars in one episode. Normally it's like the Epiphone versus the Gibson or the whatever versus whatever. This is 3. So we weren't really sure how to do this, but normally when we do videos like this, we do record a jam. And really what we're doing tonight was like, okay, let's get them all out at one time, play them all together to kind of get fresh back in our head what we thought about all 3 of them. So what better way to do that than do a jam and play all 3 guitars? So in this first jam, I played all 3 guitars while Pat became our human ditto looper and just kept playing the chords and took a short pass with each one. I threw the Vintage Modern from Love Pedal down just because in this series, this pedal's been used quite a few times in this series. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go with what has worked in the series. Into the Ecuador from DLS Effect, and then in the Tyler, and then Pat was backing me up.
In a guitar that I have owned for about 4 hours. It's a PRS Silver Sky Core with Gilmore EMGs. I have the original pickups as well. I played it through the Fender Hot Rod, who's it's back, decided it wanted to cooperate this week. And so I played this on the rhythm parts for what you're about to hear. So not to be left out of the awkward guitar swapping, it was my turn. it was my turn to take all three of them for a spin. I grabbed the Noble Screamer from Keeley, part of their 4-in-1 series. And again, I was talking about the hybrids. I had it in the ODR tone and the Tube Screamer drive. The Beard played this for the first time. It's over here. There we go. Through the Fender. And I went through the Tyler. And any delay you hear is from the Echo Tour. And here it comes.
If you want to hear final thoughts on each specific guitar, go back to those videos we did, because I mean, in all those videos we had 2 jams where we each played it. We each played it through 3 different pedals. Mm-hmm. We did final thoughts, the whole 9 yards. In this video, we're getting back together. Let's get them fresh in our head, and let's, I think, kind of pick one. Like if you were gonna keep one,
right?
Which one would you keep, and why?
Should we just go 1, 2, 3 and then say it?
Are we the same?
I think so.
Are we the same on it?
And then we can back into it.
And then back into it. So
1, 2, 3, Sire.
Sire. Yeah. All right. I'll let Pat go first.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think about if you start with the pickups and start with the pickups clean. I think that's pretty important, right? That's your baseline. And so when I heard all 3 of them and played them clean, I really felt there was a warmth and an openness and in the Sire pickups. The caveat I'll give, I found it interesting. Had the Sire first in my hand tonight, dialed up the Tube Screamer, the Noble Screamer, and dialed up a delay and everything and played. And then when I reached over and grabbed the Pacifica and played the lead, I'm like, oh, I like this sound. It's thicker. It's real tight. And I'm like, wow, I really like the Pacifica. And then I played the Strat, and I'm like, it's very Stratty. It's felt a little lower output maybe than the other two. But if I go back to, I don't always play lead and drive all the time. I would prefer to have a guitar where I like the pickups clean. And I just felt like with the Pacifica, a little hotter, a little brighter, worked well with drive. But I think overall, if someone said you could play one with the style of music I play, I'd be like, I'll take the Sire. And it's easy to play. We could gush about that roasted neck all day, but
yeah, I really like the roasted maple neck. I will say that of the three, the one that's probably set up the worst out of the box tonight is the Sire.
Right.
The action's maybe just a tad higher than we would like it. If we were keeping it, we'd probably have adjusted truss rod a little bit or whatever. Right. So there is that. For me, here's how the story goes. I saw the Strat, loved the color. Strat won. Then we played the Strat and recorded it. I was like, okay, pickups are good. They're not necessarily what I want. The thing on the Strat, you can't ever split. Well, you can, but I just felt you never get the two that you want. Position 2. It is split when it goes to position two, but it's just not like that quacky two quite that I'm used to. So it was good. Like if you bought the Strat, you probably would really like it. I think if it was the only one I have down here, I'd be really happy with it. Then we went to the Yamaha, and I was like, oh, I think I like these a little better than the Strat pickups. But you're right, maybe a little more modern. It did have the ability to split that humbucker when it is in the bridge, which the Strat didn't have. All right, cool. Recorded it, put it down. Cool. Then we picked this up and we recorded it. We played the jam, and we didn't even realize that you could split the humbucker at that moment.
Right.
We recorded it on a Monday. And then all week long, I kept thinking, man, that guitar sounded really good on Monday. Sunday comes around and we're going to play, and I took it. And so I didn't take either of the other two. I took this one, played it all through rehearsal, played it the entire set, played it in the after jam, and enjoyed it. It sounded good. And I mean, honestly said to Pat earlier, man, if there's one guitar we've gotten in from zZounds, I'm going to be sad to send back. Right. It's the $705 one, right? In all honesty, I'm not a blue guitar guy, but man, I really like this roasted maple neck. I really like the rolled edges on it. I like the fact that it has locking tuners on it. Bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And the position 2, which I ended up using a lot live. And remember now, I'm playing this through my rig that I play through every Sunday. It doesn't move. It's still set up over there right now. The pedal board's on the floor. All I got to do is plug it in and flip a switch. So then I got to take it to a place where I'm really comfortable. Enjoyed it all. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you that neck pickup with a drive on, but your volume rolled back a little bit to clean it up, really gets this really nice tone out of it. And then when you kick back to that humbucker, you can scream. So it's cool. Any other thoughts?
No, I like it too. We're talking about what we think is the winner, at least for us, and we kind of gave our rationale. It doesn't mean that we're right. We tried to give you sound samples so you could kind of decide for yourself as well what you like. But it's really nice. Like you said, if that action were down just a smidge, and I could live with the color. There's a couple other colors, but like it's a nice guitar.
Yeah, I think I said 2 smart aleck things maybe in the beginning, but are they paid chills or whatever? It's joking, but
we are far from paid.
Yeah, that's why we're sending them all back. Yeah, I mean, we're not picking and I'm a Fender guy. There's a bunch of Fenders in this room. Mm-hmm. You're a Fender guy. There's a bunch of Fenders in this room. Yamahas, you have...
I have an SA2000.
Right. Mm-hmm. We had the RevStar, and the RevStar was cool. And nothing against these. I think if you got any one of the 3 guitars that are down here, you'd be very happy. Right? So that we said that in the beginning. But if I had to pick like one that I know I'm going to feel comfortable with playing, And like some of the appointments, there's locking tuners. I mean, it makes string changes fast. We know we broke one. I'm kind of going this way.
Yeah.
Of the three that are down here, probably going this way.
I'm not arguing.
We'll be watching zZounds' website to see when some more different Sires are available because we want to get some more of the Sires in and check those out. Of course, we will be getting more Fenders and probably Yamahas too over the course of time because we're a fan of all three. Anything else? So,
that was great. Glad we got to do it.
yeah, it was a fun experiment. So with that, thanks for watching. If you hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, like button, comment, any of that stuff, that's what helps us interact with people like zZounds who send us a bunch of cool stuff to share with you, and we appreciate that. And I guess with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.